On this episode of Inside the Blueprint, greener alternatives to coal, the latest in industrial vacuum pump technologies, steel fabrication for even the most challenging projects, plus lots more. Let's go Inside the Blueprint. Have you ever heard of Enviro-Fuelcubes? Well, you have now. They're a cleaner and greener alternative to coal. Let's go inside the blueprint.
What we do here at NuCycle Energy is we fight two societal problems that are pervasive across America and the globe. The first is the usage of landfills and their proliferation and the fact that they just can't continue. And the other is the burning of coal, which is burned by the millions of tons across the globe on a daily basis right now by high energy intensive industries such as power generation, cement manufacturing, and lime production.
Joseph Knapik is NuCycle's Director of EHS and Quality and has been with the company since its inception almost 20 years ago. Joe understands NuCycle's process and the science behind it as well as, or better than, anyone.
What we've done is we've partnered with America's largest consumer brands and some of its largest governmental organizations, including NASA, for example, in order to bring their pre-consumer refuse materials into our plant, where we chop them up, blend them, and then compress them into what's called an Enviro-Fuelcube. That is an alternative and a highly engineered alternative fuel that has been designated as a non-waste fuel by the United States Federal EPA. And we supply that fuel to America's largest cement manufacturers, and they use it to replace coal ton for ton. Exact replacement, because our product obtains the same British thermal unit or BTU value as coal. Exactly. And that's why we're able to both now divert from landfills and say, let's stop using them and repurpose that material, all of which, by the way, has already served society once, either as a cardboard box or as a piece of wrapping paper or as a water bottle, as a piece of plastic. And all of that gets repurposed to defeat the usage of coal by those energy-intensive industries at much, much lower emission rates of various toxic chemicals, including mercury, sulfur, beryllium, arsenic. Not only do we reduce the carbon output, but all those other toxic elements as well.
Here's how it works.
We work with some of the most well-known brands in the country, a lot of large manufacturers, a lot of large commercial plants. We help them reduce waste to landfills significantly by offering an opportunity to reduce waste with materials that typically go to the landfill.
The process is that we gather clean industrial waste. And also from the tail end of recycling, they have what's called smalls. These are materials they can't recycle. So that adds to our input materials. They're all, and we chemically test all these to make sure there's no kind of obnoxious features in them. And through our patented process, we grind these up, compress them, and make them into fuel cubes. That's a good thing. It's highly engineered and it works.
NuCycle Energy is expanding rapidly. We're having a lot of success here in the state of Florida. We're growing in the Southeast as well as nationally, and essentially we're going to be a global company. Without NuCycle Energy and our sustainability initiative, as a country, we would be going backwards. We'll be sending more material to the landfill. We'll be using more fossil fuel.
And with this combined process of blocking landfill usage with the manufacture of a proven alternative to traditional fossil fuels, the environmental benefits are literally endless.
It's only waste if you waste it. That is why the EPA gave us a non-waste designation for our fuel, because we are not utilizing what is called waste. We are using pre-consumer refuse and repurposing it.
So what does the future hold for this unique method of manufacturing fuel?
We're very excited about the place that we can fill in society as a beneficial sustainability initiative.
For more information about how NuCycle Energy's technology can work for you, visit their website at NuCycleEnergy.com. And of course, visit our website at InsideTheBlueprint.com. When you hear the word vacuum, you probably think of this. But today on Inside the Blueprint, we're talking about a different kind of vacuum, specifically vacuum pumps. Watch this.
I'm Matt Frimmel, and I'm the Director of Innovative Vacuum Solutions. We service and repair several makes and models of vacuum pumps. We're the only factory-authorized service provider for Stokes vacuum pumps. We're also certified to work on Edwards and Leibold vacuum pumps. We've been working on several makes and models of vacuum pumps for almost 30 years now. We really have one overriding guiding principle, and it's very simple. We want to help our customers be successful. The vacuum pump industry globally is about a $5 billion industry, with the expectation that it'll be over $7 billion in 2026.
They service various industries in a variety of sectors.
We work with several companies in several different industries, including pharmaceutical, vacuum furnace and heat treating, industrial, chemical, scientific and crime labs, thin film deposition process, just to name a few. And sometimes we will actually work directly with the military and aerospace companies, specifically NASA or SpaceX.
Their goal is to create a zero or close to zero atmosphere for manufacturing, research, crime labs, and more.
Specifically for crime labs or scientific and research labs, they need a very clean environment inside the instrument or tool that they're using. This way they can keep any of the impurities from the air from contaminating their test sample. When you look at other industries, say thin film deposition, it's really important to have control of the environment inside the vacuum chamber. Even a very, very small leak of air that's virtually undetectable can damage the test sample. In processes where there's vacuum furnace or vacuum heat treating or thin film deposition, it will actually damage the product, or it can compromise the integrity of the product or the material that they're trying to heat treat. Many of the things that we use every day, we're literally touching or looking at something every hour of every day that wouldn't be possible without the science of vacuum. So your cell phone, your computer, televisions today are very small and thin. Even components in your car, every time you get into an airplane, many of the components, the parts in that airplane are all manufactured, or most of them I should say, are manufactured in a vacuum chamber at some point in their span or their lifetime. Imagine cars today, for example. They're much lighter than they were years ago. We also have better fuel efficiency, yet the cars are more powerful. This is all because of the microchips and the semiconductors that are inside of these cars. Those are all made in a vacuum chamber. They say now a car, just one single vehicle, will have approximately 2,000 microchips inside of one vehicle. Those are all manufactured in a vacuum chamber.
They have a strict quality and testing program for each vacuum pump they repair, over 1,600 per year.
Each and every vacuum pump is tested for 24 hours, and we put it through a stress testing procedure. And if it doesn't meet the specifications that we have, and part of that is it must meet the factory specification. If it doesn't do that, we pull it offline, we analyze why it's not meeting the test data or the specification that's required. We fix that and put it back in line for testing. IVS also does reconditioning of vacuum pumps, and we sell refurbished or reconditioned vacuum pumps to customers as opposed to just repairing pumps. Our motto is first in mind, first in choice. We have several engineers and vacuum process specialists at our disposal, and we all share one goal, and that is we want to help our customers be successful.
For more information about how innovative vacuum solutions can help your company, visit their website, ivsonline.com. And of course, visit our website, InsideTheBlueprint.com. If you think this 100,000 square foot manufacturing facility is impressive, wait until you see the steel fabrication services they turn out. This is S&S Welding.
We are a structural steel fabricator out of Central Florida. We produce structural steel for strip malls, grocery stores, and entertainment facilities. I purchased this company back in 2003. Me and my wife, it's just me and her doing this. And we've grown tremendously over the last 18 years, from 3 employees up to 65. We do work all over the country.
While welding is in their name, it's not all they do.
We cut steel here, we form steel, we produce steel, we produce rails, we do a lot of bolting of items together. So it's not just about welding. We also erect the buildings once we have produced all the steel. So, and most of the erecting of steel is done via bolting. The welding is just a small part of that. We provide a rust preventative primer coat on our steel. And this prevents the rust from forming prior to the building being closed in.
S&S Welding presently has 2 Lincoln Python fabricating machines, and we're in the process of buying the 3rd one. The machines help us in 2 ways. One, with quality, it's impeccable. When the material gets to the field, there's no rework that has to be done. The erectors absolutely love the material that comes out of the shop. It also helps us production-wise because we're able to schedule work because there's a constant flow of work that comes through the Pythons. You don't have to worry about manual labor. It'll automatically feed the shop.
Quality and efficiency make S&S Welding a great partner for projects large and small.
The quality S&S Welding provides is due to the fact that almost all of our machinery is operated via computers. So it takes the human error out of the equation. So we feed the file into the machine spits out as close to perfect product as you can get based on the information put into the machine.
One of the big advantages we have with the technology we have in the shop, whether it be the Pythons or the new Messer burn tables we have, or the lifting equipment that Dale's put in the shop, it helps us become much more competitive in the market. And it helps us become more profitable because we can turn the steel out of the shop a lot quicker. And with the Pythons, we're able to produce the steel at a consistent rate, which allows us to really hone in on these tight job time frames that we can help supply contractors with.
The employees who work at S&S are highly trained in the equipment that we use. We have the top of the line welders, and we have a very elite group of fitters. All these people have gone to school to learn this trade, and what they haven't learned at school, they are taught on site.
And their CNC-aided fabrication makes even the most challenging projects a success.
Over the last few years, we've acquired machinery that has CNC capabilities to produce high-quality, accurate products that install very good and bolt up real nice. Yes, reinvesting in technology is a big part of what we do. Over the years, I've reinvested money back to the company. I have great employees. They deserve the best tools to use to produce the product that we need to produce.
When you work with S&S Welding, you can be guaranteed you're going to get a quality product on time.
For more information about S&S Welding, visit their website, s-swelding.com. And of course, visit our website, InsideTheBlueprint.com. Land grading is an essential part of the construction process. Here's how to get it right when planning your next project.
We do a lot of grading for all the major home builders. I've been doing this for quite some time now. I want to say I started this in 2001. The grading is very important for water intrusion coming into your house, giving you a flat yard, so when you're out there walking, mowing, things like that.
TS Site Prep is a company that was literally built from the ground up.
I started off with one truck. About 2 years into it, bought another truck, bought another skid steer, and started growing from there. So I have a very big team. There's quite a few of them that are family members, sister, son's daughter, but even the ones that are not related to me, they are blessings. I mean, blessing from above. They are great people. I enjoy them very much. They are hard workers, and they help me push forwards in life to keep building this. The girls in the office pretty much provides us a schedule every day to go off of. That's some of the things that we try to hit every single day. Scheduling lets us know what we involve for the next day. If it's cutting walks and drives, doing a backfill, lot scrapes, final grade. So that's some of the things we do.
They've completed over 50,000 projects and accepted over 2,000 contracts.
We do all the site prep for the major home builders. We do land development, which the land development jobs we take on, we try to take on the smaller jobs, 40 or 50 lots at a time and under. We do punch out work for the home builders. If it's demoing curbs, patching asphalt, sidewalks, many things like that. So we do land clearing and demo as well. So some of the other things we offer too is hauling off the C&D. C&D is, it's what they call construction debris. Construction debris from all the trades that's doing 2x4s, drywall, paint. But we dispose of that. We take those to landfills to dispose of those. Well, another thing we do also is we recycle blocks. So when we do a block clean, we would take the block to one of our locations and we would crush that to supply road base, 57 rock, and so forth, things like that. Another thing we also do is take our scrapes from when we scrape lots and we will screen those to make good dirt with those.
The issue of standing water in a community is also an important topic.
Yeah, standing water is something that if the yard is not graded correctly, for like a few examples, the mower guys, when they come to mow your yard, they would run it up. Some of the home builders, they supply us plot plans that we allow to go off of to be able to get our grades right. But when water does stand, you have homeowners that will complain about, here goes a prime example, mosquitoes. Standing water draws a lot of mosquitoes. That's why it's very important for us to get the grade correctly. Another reason is making sure our grade is 4 inches below finished floor so no water intrusion will come into your house also.
As the #1 graders in the Hillsborough and Manatee County area, they take great pride in their employees and the community.
When you hire a grader company, you want to make sure they're reliable, they do grading correctly. Because some of the things, when you don't grade yards correctly and you have to go back after homeowners have been in there, when you have to go back, to me, it's very important to make all homeowners happy. And when it comes to grading, we try to do our best ourselves to make sure we have no comebacks.
For more information about TS Site Prep, visit their website, tssiteprep.com. And of course, visit our website, InsideTheBlueprint.com. Having access to clean drinking water has always been important, but how we monitor our usage is making all the difference in today's modern world. Let's go inside the blueprint.
Technologyworks is the largest stocking distributor of water meters and water metering equipment in the United States. Our main focus is in the submetering market. That's typically apartments, condos, anything that's multifamily. Contactless metering or solid-state metering is becoming more popular, not just because of the accuracy, but also because of the ability of contactless meters to be configured electronically as opposed to mechanically.
Metering is a critical component in water usage and conservation, but we can't fix what we don't know.
The best thing that we can do is help to provide data. I believe that someday, and that day may be closer than we think, especially in certain geographic locations, that our water bill could be higher than our electric bill. Water's been taken for granted for quite some time, and as the population grows, as the global climate changes, as water resources become more important, water treatment may become a little bit more expensive, water infrastructure may become a little bit more expensive.
Multi-family dwellings need to be as mindful in their usage and planning as those in single-family homes and those who develop municipalities.
With the single-family home, it's getting monitored by the cities. When you're talking multifamily, the city only monitors up to the main buildings, and then behind that, In the sub-metering market or multifamily is where we come in monitoring the individual apartments or condo units. If you're not using the technology properly, it's not being installed in the right unit, it's not being programmed properly, or there's tie-in plumbing from other adjacent units, you can end up paying for some of your neighbors' utilities.
Also, the property managers, owners, developers will have common area water supplies, and they need to have that data as well, not only for consumption, but for potential losses in the form of leaks and irrigation systems.
How do they know their technology is working? Their test lab is one of the most advanced in the world.
The test lab here at MTW is one of 3 NIST-certified facilities in the nation. We also do testing for global companies all over the world for testing their technologies and the efficiencies of their technologies.
The long-term plan is to use the data that we have as far as consumption, compare that to what we expect to see, and if that's consumption's wildly out of control, that could be a huge leak, but the leaks aren't always huge. Sometimes they're smaller. And for that, there are leak detection devices that sense small amounts of water that could also detect a leak. If we have that information and we have a controllable shutoff valve, we could potentially mitigate risk in the form of flooding due to leaks or due to freezes. Recently, there was a big freeze in Texas, and a lot of our multifamily customers had meters outside in utility closets, and the meters froze. And fortunately or unfortunately, water meters act as a fuse in a water system, and that fuse breaks when it freezes. So we would be able to potentially detect that or the leak that results from that, and either automatically or manually remotely shut off the water, mitigate the damage.
So what are some things you can do to help?
Little things like shutting off the faucet when you're brushing your teeth, not taking long extended showers all the time, not leaving the shower on because it sounds like rainwater and helps put you to sleep, which has been done. And in today's dishwasher technology, I really don't think that we have to do the pre-rinse cycle. It might be a good thing for you to try not rinsing them one time and run the dishwasher, because that saves a ton of water.
Typically overwatering your lawns is a big one, but also slow leaks in toilets. That's one that people don't think about. They hear it every once in a while go off in the middle of the night, and they don't realize that we've seen usages as high as 35,000 gallons in a month from a toilet that's been leaking in a unit.
You can check your water meter yourself. Your vendor or your water meter supplier will have something online typically that shows you not only how to read the meter, but how to use a water meter as a real-time leak detection device, not wirelessly, but visually and on the spot. And that can be a very, very powerful tool.
For more information about how Meter Technologyworks technology can work for you, visit their website, mtw.us.com. And of course, visit our website at InsideTheBlueprint.com. Drone technology has changed the way many industries do business. But the technology is still emerging, and the possibilities to leverage how drone tech will be used in the future are sky high. The industry leaders at Quiet Professionals are providing turnkey solutions, superior skills, and proven performance.
Drones are known as SUAS, Small Unmanned Aerial Systems. Some people call them unmanned aerial systems. They're also known as UAVs, or unmanned aerial vehicles. So the names can be switched around and synonymous. Drones can be looked at as good, and they can be looked at as bad. There are pros and cons to drones in the community. Both sides have relevant issues that they discuss. What we would look at, a drone that's used for things like finding a lost hiker in the woods is a great thing with a standoff camera with a high definition lens that can look from miles away, and we can find lost hikers.
Another really useful application for these drones is for recovering from natural disaster. Things like hurricanes, tornadoes, or even earthquakes, infrastructure can be damaged or destroyed, and finding a safe evacuation route for civilians is extremely useful. We can throw a drone up in a matter of hours and have a 3D rendered map showing people a safe route of evacuation.
Quiet Professionals serves a variety of industries, including the Department of Defense, information technology, intelligence services, construction, and real estate. Geospatial mapping is also a big part of what they do. This important technology offers support to our servicemen and women around the world and helps the construction industry keep track of their projects.
So there's really two different types of geospatial mapping that we deal with. There's 3D orthomosaic mapping and there's LiDAR mapping, which is a little bit more accurate. So rather than sending a helicopter in the air to collect this image data or other information and emitting carbon, you're actually sending an electric drone in the air, which is going to take a fraction of the time. It's all a lot smaller, a lot lighter, a lot quicker, and a lot more effective.
And Quiet Professionals pilot training program is led by a team of senior pilots in Tampa, Florida.
So the senior pilots that we have started the program for us over 3.5 years ago. They're both academically and self-taught.
Our pilots and technicians are able to build and modify SUAS platforms or drones to better fit customers' needs. Whether that's getting your company certified, getting your pilots up to speed on the technical aspects of drones, everything from technical building and flying, all the way to consulting on Part 107 and all the FAA waivers that come along with that. Some of the drones that we operate would be comparable to a Formula One car. These things are very high performance. They're very sensitive when it comes to throttle inputs. In some cases, they are more optimal for meeting customers' needs. For example, getting intelligence or ISR on a target downrange. Without this license, you can only use SUAS or drones for hobby use.
They've driven themselves to become the best pilots, research and development experts, and innovators that we have here in the company.
Research and development has got to be my favorite part of the job. It's definitely the most rewarding. Taking ideas and concepts that nobody has ever done before, or even just improving upon things that other people have tried, is absolutely exhilarating.
So, what does the future hold for drone technology?
We'll be able to use drones for things that we've never thought of before. Flying taxis. They'll be safer soon to fly in an automated drone and an unmanned drone as opposed to driving in your own car.
So just as phones, cars, watches, and other technology has become smarter, I see drones doing the same thing.
I have absolutely no doubt that by 2030, everybody will have some kind of drone technology in the home or in the workplace.
And on top of that, I hope that Florida, and specifically Tampa, becomes that tech and innovative hub for all the other cities around the world to mirror after.
For more information about how Quiet Professionals products and technology can work for you, visit their website at quietprofessionalsllc.com, and of course, visit our website at InsideTheBlueprint.com. Thanks for watching Inside the Blueprint. For more information on any of the products you saw today, or to find out how to become part of the show, please visit InsideTheBlueprint.com.